Has Shreyas Iyer really solved the short ball problem? Now, a couple of months ago, we made a Suresh Rana video on how one single type of delivery got Suresh Rana's career on a downfall. And a lot of you guys commented how this is the same path and this is the same career path that Shreyas Iyer just might follow. Except in the last couple of months, he has proved a lot of people wrong in terms of him playing the short ball. Except in the match against New Zealand, it almost felt like he was found out again. And so this begs the question, right? Has Shreyas Iyer solved the short ball problem? Now, before we get into the short ball problem and if he solved it and if it was a real thing to begin with, hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't followed us on our WhatsApp channel, go down to our description, find the link below and follow us there too. Shreyas Iyer in the ODI format has always been impressive, especially in the last couple of years. He was the 7th highest run scorer in the 2023 World Cup with an average of 68. And in the current Champions Trophy, in these 3 matches, he already has 250s with an average of 50. What stands out for Shreyas Iyer is his strike rate and his ability to put the attack to the opposition regardless of the situation. In the last 10 ODI innings that Shreyas Iyer has played, he has an average of 42 and a strike rate of 117. Which is insane. It's not just this, even his overall numbers in the ODI format are very impressive. He has an overall average of 48 with a strike rate of 101, which means he's going more than a run a ball from the beginning itself. Now, there are a couple of things Shreyas Iyer has talked about. His ability to put the attack to the opposition, now we have seen that with the strike rate, and his ability to play spin. In the ODI format, he averages 64 against spin with an average of 98.9. He's one of those batters in the Indian batting order that you can just simply trust with the ability to play spin. You know he will be able to attack the spinners. If not, he will be able to take those singles when necessary. Something else that is also talked about when it comes to Shreyas Iyer is his weakness or apparent weakness to the short ball. Now, his overall average against pace in the ODI format is not the worst. He averages 39. Alright, that's a lot about his stats and numbers. Let's look at the problem to begin with. Has Shreyas Iyer solved the short ball problem, or if he even had a short ball problem to begin with? Let's start with 2022, alright. In the IPL of 2022, a lot of fast bowlers peppered him with the short ball, and there were only four occasions where he did get out, but there were a lot of times where he struggled with the short ball and was not able to get those runs. Around 2022, he only averaged 19 against the short ball, which says something about his ability to play the short ball and get the runs from it. And I'm sure all of you guys remember the press conference that Shreyas Iyer gave after the World Cup match against Sri Lanka, where he was asked about a short ball problem and he denied it. But statistically, he sure does have a problem. Until that point, 20% of his boundaries came against the short ball. It might just say two things. One, the amount of short balls that are bowled to him, and second, maybe his ability to play at it. But the thing is, until that point, he only averaged 21 against the short ball, which means he surely does play a lot of it, but also gets out more often than not playing the short ball. And this isn't a 2022 problem. Even in the Dilip Trophy in 2024 that happened last season, he was peppered with the short ball. Until that point, he got out to the short ball on 14 different occasions across formats with an average of just 11, with a dot ball percentage of 56. Now, these are horrendous numbers for a batter, for a top order batter especially. Did he have a short ball problem? Yes, but was it because he wasn't able to play the short ball, or was it something else? And this is where we get into things. Now, this is 8 years ago in 2017 when India A played Australia in Mumbai. Now, in this, as you can clearly see, Shreyas Iyer is not the Shreyas Iyer that we see today. He doesn't move around a lot. He's very still at the batting crease, which is very different if you look at the way Shreyas Iyer bats right now. He still has a high back lift. He's not deep into the crease, and I say this for a reason, so keep that in mind. And even his initial movement is not that prominent. He just has one front foot going across. He's getting ready for the short ball. He nudges his down fine leg for a boundary. He scores 202 in this match. It's around the time where he was scoring a lot of runs in domestic cricket. But this is just to highlight how his technique used to be. We are not going to go much into this because a lot has changed since. Now, this is Shreyas Iyer in 2020. This is in New Zealand against New Zealand, where he's made a couple of changes from the first video that we saw. Now, as compared to the last time, he does have a very big initial movement. As you can see here, he goes back. He goes way deep into the crease. And then he goes across. But even as across, his front foot is still around leg stump, between middle and leg stump, so he's not going very across. He's not going to be the biggest LBW candidate. But the reason he's doing this is because it's around the time when he was found out against the short ball. And the reason he's going deep into the crease is to give himself a lot more time to face the short ball. Now what happens is that if you look at someone like a Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma, who predominantly play the pull shot off the front foot, first of all, they're not deep into the crease. If anything, they're outside the crease, or the front foot is outside the crease, and they are able to play the pull shot while having their weight on their front foot. What Shreyas Iyer is trying to do here is go back as much as possible, give himself a lot of time, and then be able to play those pull shots. And here he plays a magnificent pull shot for a 6. And so this is what he's trying to do. And as you can see, he also has a high back lift. In his stance, you can see his hands moving up and down quite a bit. It's just to make sure his hands are free. It's not restricted to his body, and he's able to get that bat swing. If you look at his pull shots now, it's one clear swing from down to up. He has no intentions of playing the pull shot on the ground. It's one clear swing, and that's exactly why his hands move around quite a bit in his stance. It's to make sure that his hands are set free. He goes back and across. One clear swing, goes for a 6. Very bottom hand dominated player. It's anyways a bottom hand dominated shot, and for him to be able to have that swing makes it a lot more prominent for him. Now this is a match against Bangladesh in 2022, and there are clear differences, right? From 2 years ago against New Zealand, he's standing a lot more taller. As you can see, he's almost standing straight up. Of course, his knees are bent slightly, but as compared to 2020, it's not that much. But the biggest difference, as you can see, is his back lift. Look at where his bat starts from. It's way high up, it's almost near his head, and it's much closer to his body as compared to before. But the rest is very, very similar. He does go back and across, has a swing, and plays the pull shot. Now something that is very interesting to see is that he's standing very still, but this wasn't the case with Shreyas Iyer trying to play the short ball. The videos that you just saw Shreyas Iyer playing the pull shot is him trying to stay in line with the ball. But there were instances where Shreyas Iyer would move around everywhere on the crease to stay beside the line of the ball, to make sure that the ball is not coming to his body and he has room to play outside the off stump. It looked very bizarre and didn't look okay, but this is what he used to do to make sure he could try playing the short ball, and not necessarily the pull shot but the cut shot, or play anything outside the off stump. And this is exactly what he did. He would move around the crease quite a bit, try throwing the bowlers line and length off. Of course, bowlers like Rabada wouldn't necessarily be thrown off, but this is what Shreyas Iyer tried to do. And this wasn't just in the white ball format, right? Even in the test matches, he would move quite a bit. Look at that. He would make room for himself, knowing that he's getting the short ball, to try countering the short ball. Now, did this look great? Of course not. Look at how deep he is in the crease to begin with. Did this look elegant? Did this look beautiful? It really didn't. If anything, he was again struggling to score runs. Was he getting out as often? Maybe not, but this wasn't the way to play the short ball, because you will be found out. You will get out eventually anyway. Now, this is his technique against the short ball. Not much has changed since 2022, yet the conversation of why is he weak against the short ball continues. Now, like I said, around 2022, his average against the short ball was 19 with a strike rate of 180. Now, again, that just blows my mind. But what's interesting is that his average against the short of good length deliveries, which is between the good length and short length, is 97 with a strike rate of about 120, which means he's able to get those runs at a quick pace, and he's not getting out as often. And this is something for you guys to keep in mind while we continue watching this video. The difference between short of good length deliveries versus short balls. Now, this is the 5th test match against England in 2022. There are a couple of things that he does differently, which we will talk about, but he does it differently from the first to the second innings itself. Now, this is the first innings where Shreyas Iyer does go back and across. He stays quite low, which I don't understand why. It almost means that his head is falling across, but he's out of the short ball anyway. He tries to nudge it down fine leg with a leg slip or a leg gully. The keeper takes the catch. He's out to the short ball. Now, it's almost the same story in the second innings, except he does make a change. He's not that low to the ground. He, of course, goes back and across, his bat swinging everywhere to have his hands moving freely, which is absolutely fine. He plays the short ball. The problem is that this is a really good short ball. It's coming to his head, coming to his body, and in contact or while contact, he is not looking at the ball, and there is no intention of his to play it along the ground. As you can see, his bat swing is flat. It's not down to up or up to down. It will go in the air because his bat swing is flat. And if anything, he's trying to play it along the ground, but he's not because it's just not quick enough. And he again gets out to a short ball. And this continued again and again for someone like a Shreyas Iyer, everyone talking about his problems against the short ball. Now, there are a couple of things to think about, right? Because Shreyas Iyer goes so deep into the crease, the height of the short ball is at its peak by the time it reaches Shreyas Iyer. So, more often than not, because Shreyas Iyer is so deep into the crease, even a little short of good length deliveries, by the time it reaches Shreyas Iyer, it is a short delivery and it's around his head because of how deep Shreyas Iyer is into the crease. The short ball's height is at its peak by the time it reaches the end of the pitch, which is almost where Shreyas Iyer is standing because of how deep he goes into the crease. Now, because of this, someone like a Rabada or even Will O'Rourke in the last Champions Trophy game that Shreyas Iyer had to face against New Zealand, when someone like them, tall, fast bowlers who can hit the deck hard, by the time the ball comes to Shreyas Iyer, not only is the peak high, but Shreyas Iyer will have to try playing that very, very early, because by the time he does play at it right now, he's always meeting the ball at the top of the bat near the handle, which is not good enough because Shreyas Iyer is always looking to attack. He said this in multiple interviews where he will look to attack the short ball, and if he is doing that and if he continues to play like this, he's always going to mistime the ball and give a catch. Now, something that isn't in Shreyas Iyer's favor is that in his stance, he always stands so tall. So, something that is almost a short of a good length delivery, by the time it comes to him, it will be a short ball. And also, because he is a tall batter, something that others might possibly duck, he is looking to attack, and normally, and more often than not, he will mistime it. But few things he should do or should be able to do is to try meeting the ball a little earlier than he possibly can, judge the length as soon as possible, and I know this is easier said than done, but if he's going deep into the crease with that high of a back lift, he should be able to read the ball slightly early and try playing the pull shot a little earlier. If he can't do that, he should have a swing that goes from up to down to try playing it along the ground. We've seen this with so many batters who are good at the pull shot that they are able to hit the ball to the ground, and this is where Shreyas Iyer lacks and his pull shot lacks. He hardly tries to play it on the ground, and so in this case, even if he does mistime the ball will go to the ground. Now, something else Shreyas Iyer could possibly try is have an uppercut, and this is again easier said than done if the ball is coming at your body, but if there are balls coming at your body, he should be able to defend it and try rotating the strike, which he is not doing right now and struggles a lot with. Someone like a KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, or even Virat Kohli, you see them nudging the short balls for singles, and you don't see Shreyas Iyer doing that because for now it almost seems like he's a one-dimensional player against the short ball where he has this one swing against it. If he gets it right, it goes for a boundary or a six. If not, he is getting out. Now, remember I told you to make a distinction between the short ball and short of good length ball. He doesn't have any of this against the short of good length balls, and we saw this very evidently against England in the England ODI series just before the Champions Trophy, where he took Jofra Archer apart with the short of good length ball. When a ball is short of good length towards him, he not only meets the ball early, he's meeting it right in front of his eyes, he's able to hit it flat or above the fielders for a six or a boundary, and he's able to maneuver it the way he wants to. Now, this is because of everything that he does to prepare for the short ball. When it's a short of good length delivery, it's not that quick, it's not that high towards him, and he is able to play that shot freely. We have also seen that in the Champions Trophy itself. What we'll be testing is if he goes to Sena countries against these tall fast bowlers and if he can play these short balls the way he's doing right now. Of course, in pitches like Dubai that aren't the fastest, it's not troubling him all that much, but he was found out a little bit against New Zealand. But will he be able to play these pull shots in those Sena fast bouncy pitches? Now, there is something to keep in mind, right? Shreyas Iyer playing those pull shots, he will continue to play those pull shots. He will continue to attack the ball and he will continue to get those runs. There is a difference between Virat Kohli having a weakness outside the off stump while playing a cover drive versus Shreyas Iyer getting out to the short deliveries. Percentage of short balls bowled at a batter as compared to percentage of balls bowled outside the off stump is way less, which means it's almost a very high risk reward game that Shreyas Iyer is playing. But if he wants a long career, especially as a number 4 in the ODI format and to make a comeback in the test format and to play all around the world, he will need to sort this out. So let's answer a couple of questions. Did Shreyas Iyer have a short ball problem? The answer is yes. Has Shreyas Iyer found a solution for it? The answer again is yes. But does the short ball persist? The answer is a little complicated because a lot of these short balls that Shreyas Iyer gets out to are also good deliveries that a lot of batters would possibly get out to. What Shreyas Iyer can do is find other ways about going about scoring runs. Instead of just boundaries and sixes, he can always try rotating strike, and this is what Shreyas Iyer will need to do. He's been the best number 4 batter in the ODI format for the Indian team in the last couple of years, and we can only hope he continues to score runs and score a lot of runs and face those short balls and hit those pull shots. But this is again one of those videos where a batter is trying to find solutions in the international arena. It's easier said than done. He was also dropped in the middle because of a lot of problems and being out of form, but he has made a comeback, and we can only hope he continues to grow more and more as a batter. This has been our video on Shreyas Iyer and if his short ball problems do exist and if it even is a problem to begin with. If you have enjoyed this video, like, share and subscribe, all that good stuff. We have all of our links in the description below. Please follow us on Instagram, it'll always help us. If you haven't followed us on our WhatsApp channel, that link is there too. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, we have that down below too. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Peace.